Solutions to test 3. To solve the first sum, we must first open up the brackets, giving us 5x minus 2 times x, 2x minus 2 times 1 minus 2 equals 4x minus 7. When we open up the brackets, we must remember to change the sign and multiply the second item in the brackets. Simplifying, we have 3x minus 2 equals 4x minus 7. Next, we need to put all the x term on the left. Subtracting 4x here will give us minus 7. Subtracting 4x will give us a negative x. Adding 2 to remove negative 2. Adding 2 will give us negative 5. Making all sides positive to give us the result x equals to 5. In the second example, we have a fraction equals another fraction. In this case, we solve by cross multiplication, which means multiplying diagonally, putting the result of one diagonal on one side of the equation and the other diagonal on the other side of the equation. Once again, we are applying the distributive law. We multiply into the two terms in the brackets. We have 10x minus 5, 3 times x, 3x, 3 times 1, 3. Again, we want to put all the x terms on the left. Minus 3x here will give us 3. Minus 3x here will give us 7x. And adding 5 here to get 7x. Adding 5 here to get 8. Dividing by 7 on both sides. And our answer must all be given to a mixed number. Next, we have an equation. In this case here, we have two fractions here. Therefore, we can't use the cross multiply method unless we can reduce this to a single fraction. Another way is by multiplying throughout by the LCM. The LCM in this case is 12. LCM of 3, 2, and 4 is 12. And we take each term multiplied by 12. In this case, we can cancel the denominator. Giving us 20x minus 6 bracket x minus 2. 3 times 3 is 9. Opening up the brackets, we have 20x minus 6 times x is minus 6. Minus times minus plus. 6 times 2, 12. (20x minus 6x will give us 14x. Then getting rid of 12, subtracting 12 to give 14x, subtracting 12 to give negative 3, and dividing by 14 on both sides. Next, in this example, we have again a fraction equals another fraction. Thus, we can cross multiply, giving us 3 bracket x plus y equals to 2 times y, 2y. Opening up the brackets and putting all the y terms on the right hand side and all the x terms on the left hand side. Subtracting 3y, subtracting 3y to give negative y. Now the objective is to find the value of x over 2y. We must first get an x on the left hand side by dividing by 3, and dividing by 3 here will give us negative y over 3. Next, we need a 2y in the denominator. Well, this can be done by multiplying by 1 over 2y on both sides. Now we have x over 2y, and y here is cancelled, thus giving us the value minus 1 over 3 times 2, which is 6. The value of x over 2y equals negative 1/6. Next, we have to solve an equation. Before that, we need to form an equation. This is a question of quantity times cost. The cost of 1 pencil is x cents. 20 pencils will cost 20x cents. 1 pen is x plus 40. 15 pens is 15 times x plus 40. Thus, the total cost of pencils plus the total cost of pens will give us a grand total of $23.50. When we write an equation, we do not put units, and we must make sure that both sides must be in terms of cents only or in terms of dollars only. Next, we need to solve this equation, again using distributive law. Opening up the brackets and putting all the x terms to one side, we found that x equals 50. Do not leave your answer as x equals to 50 because our objective is to find the cost of a pencil. Thus, we have to finish off with a statement: a pencil costs 50 cents. In the next sum, we are given the mean of 6 numbers. The total of 6 numbers is 6 times 3.2. A number is added to get 7 numbers, and therefore the total of 7 numbers is the total of 6 numbers plus the new number to give us a total of 7 numbers. And the new mean is found by taking a total of 7 numbers divided by 7. And once again, we leave the answer in a mixed number. In the next sum, we are given a frequency table where we have to produce a dot diagram. When we draw a dot diagram, we must keep a few things in mind. That is that the values must be consistent. That means from 3.5 to 4, and to 4.5 to 5 to 5.5, 6, and to 6.5. Every spacing must have a consistent value. So every spacing represents 0.5. We must also show the marking and place the dots nicely, starting on the axis. Next, we must find the mode for this distribution. The mode is the value above the highest frequency. The highest frequency is 4, therefore the mode is 3.5. To find the mean, we need to total all the numbers. There are 12 numbers. 4, 3.5, 2 of 4.5, 1, 5, 2 sixes, 3 6.5. To find the total of all the 12 numbers, we need to find the total for each number or each score. To find the total for 3.5 is 4 times 3.5, and the total of this is 2 times 4.5, and so on. Thus, we simply take the frequency times the score to find the total for each score, add all up, and divide it by 12 because there are 12 numbers, and giving our answer as a mixed number. Finally, we want to find the median. In order to find the median, we must first know the total number of scores. In this case, it's the total frequency, which is 12. If there are 12 scores, then the middle score will be between the 6th score and the 7th score. We have 6 scores here. Four scores, 2 scores to make a total of 6 scores. The 6th score is therefore a 4.5. And the 7th score, 4, 2, 6, 6 plus 1, 7. The 7th score is a 5. 6th score is 4.5, 7th score is 5, and therefore the median is 4.5 plus 5 divided by 2, giving us 4.75. In the next frequency table, one of the frequency is unknown. To find the mean, it is done in the same way, taking the frequency times the score for each score, adding all up to find the total number of scores, divided by the total frequency. The total for the score 30 is the frequency x times 30. And the total frequency is adding all up including x. And this will give us the mean. Thus, we have formed an equation to find x. The equation is the equation to find the mean. Simplifying it, we have this. Cross multiply to get this expression. And isolating x, we will find that x is equals to 10. In the next example, we want to find the median, or rather we want to find the value of x given that the median is 20. And we have to find the largest value of x. In this case, we can see that for the first 13 scores, we have tens. We have 13 tens. And next, we have 12 scores of 20. And we do not know the number of scores for 30. But we know the number of 40s, which is 8, and the number of 50s. which is 7. Thus, if the last 20 is the median, then there will be 24 scores before it. And if this is the median, then there will be 24 scores after it. Therefore, to find the median, x plus 8 plus 7 must be equals to 24. And simplifying it, we have x equals to 9. Next, we are told that 30 is the mode. If 30 is the mode, then it must have the highest frequency. The highest frequency here is 13. Therefore, if this is the mode, then the frequency here must be higher than 13, which in this case it is 14. Next, we want to find the values of x, y, and z in a diagram showing parallel lines. To find x, we just simply equate it to 50 because these are corresponding angles because of the parallel lines. To find z, we notice that z is the alternate angle to x plus 43. Therefore, z equals to x plus 43 and x is 50, giving us z equals to 93. These are alternate angles, parallel lines. And to find y, z, and 40 belongs to a triangle. So we use angle sum of triangle to solve for y. Since we have found z, alternatively, we could also use interior angles because 40 and these three angles here are interior angles, which adds up to 180. Right, in this way, we can find y, which is 47 degrees. Next, we have a graph. We need to plot a graph y equals to 2x minus 5 for the range of x from -2 to 3. This expression means that the table must be from -2 to 3. The scale is 2 cm to 1 unit on the x-axis and 1 cm to 1 unit on the y-axis. We begin by calculating the values of y using the formula y equals to 2x minus 5. Putting the values of x into the equation, we have 2 times -2, which is -4. -4 minus 5 is -9. So we have -9 for the first number, and doing the same for the second number. When x is -1, 2 times -1 is -2, minus 5 is -7. And this is how we calculate the rest of the values. Once we have worked out the values, we note the endpoints. The first point is -2 and -9. And this point here is 3, 1. Lowest value of x is -2. So our x-axis is from -2 to 3 for the x-axis. And for the y-axis, we have from -9 to 1. -9 to 1. A rough diagram like this will help us to estimate how we fit the graph into the graph paper. Now we can draw in the axis. For the x-axis, 2 cm to 1 unit, 2 cm is 1 big square, representing 1 unit. For the y-axis, 1 cm to 1 unit, 1 cm representing 1 unit, 2 cm will represent 2 units for the y-axis. This is a common scale being used in graph. When we are drawing the axis, make sure that we label the axis and indicate the arrowhead. Show the markings. The values for the x-axis is below the line, and the values for the y-axis is on the left of the line. We begin by plotting the two endpoints, which is the first point and the last point. The first point is -2, -9, x is -2, and y is -9. And the last point, x is 3, y is 1. X is 3, and y is 1. The endpoints is sufficient for us to draw a line. Joining the 2 points, we have the line. We must label it. And then, once we have the line, we can fit in all the other values that we are asked to plot by just indicating it on the line rather than estimating it from nothing. We are given or asked to find the coordinates of the point where it cuts the x-axis, which is the x-intercept. This is the point that is required that cuts on the x-axis. And to write a point, we use brackets indicating the x value first, which is 2.5 as shown on the x-axis, and the y value is 0. In the next example, we have to find m, and m is a point on the line. The x value is 1. So a point on the line where the x value is 1 is this point. And from here, we can read off the value of m, which is -3. Finally, we are asked to find the values of x. We need to find the value of y given a value of x. Given a value of x, we start looking at the x-axis for this value. X is 1.5. Trace it towards the line and read off the y value, which is -2. Right. Similarly, when we are given a y value, we start from the y-axis at -8, trace towards the line. Where it hits the line, we read off the x value, which is -1.5. We do not show our answers on the lines itself. Our answers should be shown at the side of the graph. This ends the discussion. Thank you.